All right, we're at Ocmulgee National Monument. This is a continuously inhabited Indian site. Mound builders, the Mississippian culture apparently built these mounds that we're going to see in a little bit, but they're claiming 3 or 17,000 years of continuous human inhabitation in this area, and we pretty much know that to not be possible. Man has been on the earth less than 10,000 years, it's documented, but we can assume that it's been when the Egyptian pyramids were being built, that this place was inhabited probably. So we can definitely take this back 3, 4, 5,000 years, but beyond that, that's just not realistic. But they have some amazing things here, absolutely astonishing and amazing things. So. And they have this really nice exhibit. And all these artifacts came from this location, from this site. Projectile points showing the various tools. And weapons. And they don't talk about them being a warlike people, but we know that all Indians, and all mankind for that matter, organized to protect themselves to a degree. So it just makes sense. This is the crown jewel, apparently, is this Earth Lodge. Can't wait to see that. That's pretty fascinating. This exhibit talks about 1,100 years ago. This is the Mississippian period. Some of their artifacts are gone, apparently removed due to construction. Now we're going to go in the back now and see some of the arrowheads and if you're into this sort of thing, I highly recommend this place. And this is like a mecca. Okay, this is really neat. This is their city exhibit.
Haritsi, umazolagi dadi abubadi atulimahan ijinusis. Wait, you are entering the ancient homes of our ancestors.
And that's all he says. Ancient homes. This talks about the various temples and that sort of thing. Smaller mounds, the large ceremonial mounds. They're closing here in about an hour and a half or less, and I have that much time to see all these mounds, so I'm not going to get to see them. They're closing due to the government shutdown. The leftist senators and Congress people cannot seem to come to grips with the fact that the president is in charge, so they're going to cause all of us to suffer. I have at least two more federal installations to see on my trip, and I don't know if I'm going to be able to see them. Here's some bows and arrows. Talks about grinding the corn. This is an example of one of the homes, which, you know, everybody knows about Georgia red clay, the red clay of Georgia. This is absolutely incredible building material. They would have set these posts vertically, set these smaller branches interlocking horizontally. It's called wattle and daub, and then they would have daubed it. It's very similar to what construction was in the 50s and before, and even in this country in homes. A lot of times they would use the slats, not these kinds of raw wood, but it would still be lumber slats, and then they would just basically slap the oops, a doozy. They would basically just slap the plaster on it, creating very much the same effect, similar effect. These people apparently had dirt floors, but this was a very, very cozy situation. That's interesting, and it's an interesting point to make, that they would have spent most of the time outside, because of course they would. Whereas northern Indians, plain Indians, something like that, if you're under a winter snow situation, most of the time, or most of the time during that time period, during the winter, you would have stayed inside, and you would have planned to stay inside, and you would have planned to survive while you were inside for those 4 or 5 months. This is an interior shot of the Earth Lodge, which we're going to see in a little bit, the actual real, honest to goodness, almost 1,000-year-old Earth Lodge. That is going to be incredible. That is absolutely astonishing. Oh, this is interesting here too. I thought this diorama of the green corn ceremony, which I thought was pretty cool. I love dioramas in general, but that was pretty neat. And this shows a early 18th century expulsion of Indian homes in towns and villages, etc. Interesting stuff. All right, we're going to go out and see the mounds now.